Hello and welcome to Unbuilt Giants, a series that looks at the development and demise of some of history's most notable and sometimes bizarre skyscraper projects. The One-Five-One Incheon Tower was an ambitious architectural project envisioned as the centerpiece of Songdo International City in Incheon, South Korea. Originally designed as a pair of 613-meter, 151-story twin skyscrapers joined by sky bridges, the development aimed to become the world's tallest twin towers, overtaking Malaysia's Petronas Towers. Intended as a mixed-use landmark housing offices, residences, a luxury hotel, and observation decks, it was set to redefine Incheon's skyline and global profile. Despite a groundbreaking ceremony in 2008 and a bold vision backed by renowned architect John C. Portman Jr. and engineering firm Thornton Tomasetti, the project stalled amid the global financial crisis, investor disputes, and shifting economic realities. Though redesigned at a reduced height of 487 meters, construction was ultimately cancelled in 2016, with repeated attempts at revival since proving unsuccessful. Today, the site stands as a symbol of unrealized ambition and the complex challenges of megaproject development. In the early years of the 21st century, South Korea initiated an ambitious and wide-ranging redevelopment strategy aimed at elevating the global status of its western port city, Incheon. With its strategic location near Seoul and proximity to international transport hubs, Incheon was identified as a key site for transformation into a future-oriented business and financial center. This bold initiative took shape under the larger umbrella of the Incheon Free Economic Zone, IFEZ, which was established to attract foreign investment, foster economic growth, and develop high-tech infrastructure. At the heart of this transformation was the Songdo International Business District, a vast urban development project valued at approximately $42 billion. The master plan envisioned a cutting-edge smart city constructed entirely on reclaimed land from the Yellow Sea, equipped with green spaces, advanced telecommunications, and iconic architecture. One of the most striking and ambitious elements of this vision was the proposed One-Five-One Incheon Tower. The idea for the One-Five-One Incheon Tower began to take form in the early to mid-2000s. More than just another skyscraper, it was conceived as a symbol of national ambition and a statement of South Korea's growing influence in global business, design, and engineering. The tower was intended to become the architectural centerpiece of Songdo and a physical representation of the city's future-facing identity. The design, by acclaimed architect John C. Portman Jr., called for twin towers, each reaching 151 stories into the sky and connected by 3 dramatic sky bridges. The total height of the structure would have reached an astonishing 613 meters, making it, at the time of proposal, not only the tallest twin tower complex in the world, surpassing the Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur, but also one of the tallest man-made structures anywhere on the planet. The vision extended far beyond height. The tower was planned as a fully integrated mixed-use development, with extensive space allocated for luxury residences, high-end office environments, hotel accommodations, observation decks, and expansive retail zones. It was expected to function as a vertical city within a city. Groundbreaking for the ambitious Incheon Tower project took place on the 20th of June, 2008. The ceremony was a high-profile event, attended by then-President Lee Myung-bak and the mayor of Incheon at the time, Ahn Sang-soo. The tower was a major component of the broader urban development strategy for Songdo International City. The construction responsibilities were assigned to 2 of South Korea's most prominent engineering and construction firms, Samsung C&T and Hyundai Engineering and Construction. The design for the Incheon Tower called for a super-tall twin tower structure standing among the tallest buildings in the world. The complex was set to offer a total gross floor area of around 506,538 square meters. This expansive internal space was allocated across a range of mixed-use functions, aiming to create a vertical city that would integrate living, working, leisure, and tourism. The building was to contain substantial retail space at its base, a large section dedicated to office use, several floors for a luxury hotel, and a majority of the tower reserved for high-end residential apartments and condominiums. The original design envisioned 151 stories in total. Of these, 30 floors were planned for commercial office use, while the hotel was to occupy 10 levels. The largest portion, 95 floors, was dedicated to residential functions. The uppermost 3 floors were set aside for public amenities, with 2 levels planned for restaurants and the top floor designed as an observatory offering panoramic views over Incheon, Seoul, and the surrounding coastline. Structurally, the Incheon Tower was to employ a sophisticated composite construction system. This included a central reinforced concrete core that would have served as the spine of the building, flanked by a network of supercolumns to provide vertical strength and stability. These were connected by a series of mega outriggers, enhancing the tower's lateral stiffness and resistance to wind and seismic forces. The engineering firm Thornton Tomasetti was responsible for the structural design, incorporating advanced techniques to address the challenges of building at such extreme height, particularly in a region prone to both typhoons and earthquakes. Their solution balanced aesthetic ambition with structural resilience, ensuring the tower would meet stringent international standards for safety and performance. Geotechnically, the foundation design for the One-Five-One Incheon Tower faced significant challenges due to the complex subsoil conditions of the site, which is located on reclaimed land in Songdo. The area is underlain by approximately 20 meters of soft-to-firm marine silty clay, a problematic material that exhibits low shear strength and high compressibility. Beneath this clay layer lies a complex geological profile of residual soils and highly weathered rock, including granite, gneiss, and other metamorphic formations affected by deep weathering and fracturing. These ground conditions required a highly engineered solution capable of supporting the considerable vertical and horizontal forces imposed by a supertall structure of this scale. To address these geotechnical constraints, engineers developed a foundation system consisting of a 5.5-meter-thick reinforced concrete raft, which served as the main load-distributing platform. This raft was supported by a total of 172 large-diameter board piles, each measuring 2.5 meters in diameter. These piles extended down through the soft upper soils and were socketed deep into the underlying soft rock, ensuring enhanced stiffness and load-bearing capacity. The design aimed to minimize both overall and differential settlement, as well as to control rotational movement under seismic and wind-induced lateral forces. The piles were carefully spaced and arranged to optimize load distribution and to ensure a stable foundation for the towering structure above. Advanced numerical modeling tools and soil structure interaction analyses played a central role in the engineering of the foundation system. Simulations were conducted using state-of-the-art geotechnical software such as Plaxis 3D, which enabled three-dimensional finite element analysis of soil behavior under load. The GARP program, developed in collaboration with the University of Sydney, allowed for boundary element modeling of piled raft systems, while CLAP, an in-house tool by Coffee Geotechnics, provided insight into pile group interactions, settlement behavior, and rotational stiffness. These tools allowed the engineers to evaluate a wide range of load scenarios, including extreme wind and seismic events, and to refine the design based on detailed predictions of foundation performance. Wind and seismic considerations played a dominant role in shaping the tower's overall structural engineering. Given the extreme height and slenderness of the building, it was critical to develop a structural system that could resist high lateral loads while maintaining occupant comfort and structural integrity. To this end, the design incorporated 3 sky bridges strategically located at intervals along the height of the towers. These sky bridges were not only architectural features but also served a crucial structural function. Each bridge was designed with internal steel truss outriggers that acted as lateral stabilizers, tying the twin towers together and enhancing their resistance to wind-induced sway and seismic vibrations. The aerodynamic design of the towers further addressed dynamic loading challenges. The sharply angled edges of the towers were an intentional architectural element, but also presented a problem by amplifying vortex shedding effects at high elevations. To mitigate this, engineers introduced vertical corner slots along the facade, creating a series of openings that allowed wind to pass through more freely and reduce the formation of powerful vortices. These design features improved the aerodynamic performance of the building, minimizing oscillations and helping to ensure the stability and comfort of occupants during high winds. The integration of form and function in the aerodynamic design was a hallmark of the project's engineering ambition, reflecting the complexity and innovation required for a skyscraper of this magnitude. However, the timing of the One-Five-One Incheon Tower project proved disastrous. Just a few months after its groundbreaking ceremony in June 2008, the global financial crisis struck with full force. The sudden economic downturn sent shockwaves through financial markets worldwide, and South Korea was no exception. Real estate markets froze almost overnight, investor confidence plummeted, and previously ambitious development projects were brought to a standstill. With uncertainty gripping the global economy and investment capital drying up, demand for such a massive, high-risk undertaking evaporated. By 2009, construction was halted, with only some initial groundwork and site preparation completed. The towering ambition of the project had, for the moment, collapsed under the weight of economic reality. Despite this setback, there were continued efforts to bring the tower back to life. The original design was revised, with its proposed height reduced from 613 meters to 487 meters in an attempt to make it more commercially viable and technically feasible. In 2013, construction briefly resumed, reigniting hope that the development could be salvaged. However, tensions quickly escalated between the developer, Songdo Landmark City Co., Limited, and the Incheon Free Economic Zone Authority. The city authorities, facing a shifting economic landscape and budgetary concerns, pushed for a smaller-scale project and insisted on the payment of outstanding land-related fees. The developer resisted these demands, unwilling to compromise on the original vision or absorb additional financial burdens. As the dispute dragged on without resolution, construction momentum once again stalled. By January 2015, following prolonged negotiation and deadlock, both parties formally agreed to cancel the project. Even an effort by Portman Holdings, the American firm behind the initial vision to revive the original 151-story tower, ultimately came to nothing. In 2016, Hyundai Engineering and Construction acquired Samsung C&T's stake in Songdo Landmark City Co., raising speculation that the dormant project might be restarted under a new leadership structure. However, rather than reviving the 151-story plan, the focus began to shift in a new direction. By 2017, a fresh development proposal emerged from a consortium led by Daesang Industrial. Their plan outlined a significantly scaled-down scheme, replacing the envisioned twin towers with a more modest 68-story building. The original Incheon Tower, once touted as a global architectural icon, was nowhere to be found in this revised vision. Negotiations with the consortium eventually fell apart in September 2017 as both sides failed to agree on key financial terms, including land valuation, methods of payment, and how profits from the development would be shared. This breakdown led to a legal dispute. In 2020, the Seoul High Court sided with the Blue Core Consortium, previously Daesang Industrial, reinstating them as the preferred bidder. In light of this ruling, the Incheon Free Economic Zone Authority resumed negotiations in 2021. As these talks unfolded, the city's development goals had evolved. The Incheon Free Economic Zone Authority began promoting broader objectives for the site. These included attracting companies aligned with the Fourth Industrial Revolution, establishing cultural and tourism-related infrastructure, and enhancing the city's overall urban landscape. Yet, despite the renewed negotiations, there was no reference to restoring the original 151-story tower. By January 2022, any lingering hopes were dashed when the Incheon Economic Office publicly presented a new development plan at a citizen briefing session. Under the I-Core City project, a new skyscraper was proposed, a 103-story, 420-meter-tall tower. This announcement signaled the formal and final cancellation of the original One-Five-One Incheon Tower scheme. Nevertheless, many residents of Songdo refused to let the idea go quietly. Public support for the original tower remained strong, fueled by a sense of civic pride and frustration over what many saw as a broken promise. In late 2020, residents organized petitions and online campaigns demanding the tower's reinstatement. During the 2022 local elections, mayoral candidate Yoo Jong-bok responded to this sentiment by pledging to revive the original plan. His victory, along with the reappointment of Kim Jin-yong, an official previously supportive of the tower, briefly raised expectations. Yet these hopes were soon tempered by a worsening economic climate. The latter half of 2022 saw a steep decline in property prices, increased caution among investors, and rising construction costs. In this context, the prospects for reviving the 151-story vision became even more remote. The broader national trend of cancelling or scaling back similar high-rise developments further underscored the unlikelihood of the tower ever being built. As of today, the proposed site remains in a state of limbo, undeveloped and largely forgotten, with overgrown reeds and decaying remnants of preliminary infrastructure scattered across the fenced-off area. The once grand construction banners now hang tattered, flapping in the wind, a silent reminder of what might have been. While the image of the One-Five-One Incheon Tower still lingers in the public imagination, symbolizing a bold chapter in South Korea's urban aspirations, its realization appears for all practical purposes to be permanently shelved. The vision has become a ghost of a project, one that continues to resonate but is unlikely ever to rise from the ground. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and consider subscribing for more episodes coming soon. See you next time.